without further ado, I'm probably going to stop talking and turn it over to our lovely APMs now. There's going to be a time for questions at the end. I'll make sure for everyone, if they need to have questions, you put them in the chat or unmute and say them, whatever works. And just a little heads up, this information may change due to COVID, but as of this point, all this information is accurate to the university standards. So now I'm going to turn it over to our first presenter. If our thing would work. There it goes. Inti.
Hello. Okay. I'm just going to use this. All right. So I'm going to be talking about Blackboard, also known as BBLearn. So first of all, I have the link right here. It's bblearn.uidaho.edu. And before you even sign into BBLearn, there's going to be a student help section. And that has a lot of information. So if you guys forget what I'm saying or you just want to refer back to it, you can always click on that instead rather than watching my whole recording. So once you hit the student help button, there's a 2-minute navigation video that talks about how to use BBLearn. So how to check your grades, turn in assignments, do tests, that kind of thing. So it's covered all in 2 minutes. And the sidebars have specific information. So if there's a specific problem that you have or you want to look over, you can always do that as well. So moving on to logging into BBLearn, it's going to be the same information that you use for your email. So before the @Vandals, that's going to be your username and your password. And you also use the Duo mobile app to have multi-factor authentication. So that way, once you log in, it'll send like a ding to your phone and then you just hit accept. And then that's how you log into BBLearn. But again, if you have problems with that, you can go to student help and then they have a login section for that as well. So once you do log in, you'll see that you'll have your classes listed on the right side of the screen. So right now, I only have one thing listed in there, which is like the training. So that's where your classes are, and then that's where you click on to check grades and do other things. So going off of that, once you click on a class, you can check your grade for that class. So there'll be a sidebar, and then you just hit my grades or whatever it'll say. There's a little picture right here that shows like what happens when you check grades. So if there's an exclamation point, it means that you turned in the assignment, but it hasn't been graded yet. And then if there's just a dash, it means you haven't turned it in yet. And then depending on your professor or the type of assignment, sometimes it'll be in points, and sometimes you'll have a percentage as your grade. So that can vary as well. And then moving on, you can also check or turn in assignments using BBLearn. So the same thing with checking your grades. You just go on that sidebar. There'll be something that says assignments, or in this case, getting started, or whatever your professor decides to put. So you click on that, and then you click on your assignment name. And there's different ways you can turn in an assignment, especially for writing. You can hit the write submission, and then you can just type straight up in BBLearn, or you can also attach a document, like a Word document or a PowerPoint or whatever, and then hit submit. Usually when you're doing group assignments, your professor will want just one person to submit, and then once that person submits, the other people in the group won't be able to. But that's just the basic protocol, but if your instructor is doing something different, they'll definitely let you know about that. And the last main thing you can do on BBLearn is taking tests. So same thing, going on the sidebar, clicking on the test. Before you even take the test, make sure you read the information there, because it'll tell you if there's a time limit or if it'll submit automatically, or if you can go back to each of the questions, and just important information like that that you want to have, keep in mind before you start the test. So part 2 is actually taking the test. So if it is a time test, there'll be a little timer at the top with the green bars you can see, and it'll tell you how long you have left. And then you can type your answers in there, or if it's multiple choice or anything like that. Each time you finish an answer, you want to make sure that you save it. So there'll be a little save button towards the top, or save answer. If it's green, it means that your answer's been saved and you're good to go. If it's yellow, it's still trying to save. And then if it's gray, it means you need to hit save answer once you're done with it. So just make sure that you save your answers and that it's green before you move on to the next one. And then once you finish the test, you're just going to hit save and submit. A good thing to do is there's a little OK button in the bottom right corner. I missed this last year, but when you click on it, it'll give you information about your test. So if it's a multiple choice test, sometimes it'll tell your grade right away. So that's really nice. It'll tell you what time you submitted it. Or if you have technical problems with the professor and they're like, oh, I didn't get your test, you can send them a screenshot of this and be like, well, I submitted it, so you have that proof. And then going back to the login page, so at the beginning I was on the My Courses tab on the top left, but if you click on the notifications dashboard, it'll tell you any assignments you have coming up. So it has today, tomorrow, this week, and in the future, so you can see what's going on and plan accordingly. And then also if there's important notifications or announcements that your instructor wants you to know about, that will show up here as well. So as an overall summary of BBLearn, you're going to log in with your email information, and then you're going to use the Duo app on your phone to get in. The classes are going to be listed on the right side once you log in, and the main things you can do with BBLearn are checking your grades, turning in assignments, and taking tests. On the top left, once you log in, you can hit on the notifications dashboard, and that will show you your upcoming assignments, tests, and any other information. And if you need a review at any time, you can always just log out and then hit that student help section, or just go to BBLearn, and then before you even log in, go into that student help section, watch the video, or click on any of the sidebars that you need. So that's all I have for you guys today. Whoops, sorry. So we're going to move on to VandalStar now with Kaya.
First, Nick's going to jump in so I can admit some people who are in the waiting room. So hey, it's me again. I'm Nick. Okay, there we go. All right, so everyone should be in now as of this point. Sweet, cool. All right, and now I'm going to turn it over to Kaya and let him do his thing.
All right, so I'm Kaya Lebanon. I'm the APM for floors 1, 2, 3 in Theophilus Tower. And so I'm going to be going over VandalStar. The best way I can kind of describe VandalStar is essentially think of Blackboard, but more for the connection side of connecting to staff, connecting to certain resources, and trying to find what exact resources you need in any given time. Oh, give me a sec. All right, so to actually access VandalStar, it pretty much is going to bring up this screen, and you're going to use your basic Idaho email and password, and then from there, it's pretty straightforward. You're just going to find what you need. So when you actually log in, it's going to bring up a screen that looks a bit more like this. So on the top is going to be a whole ton of people with their names and pretty much their title or what they do. And if you need to learn more about them, you're going to click on the 3 dots. That's going to bring up more about more info, stuff like that. And pretty much what you can use it for is to connect with professors, set up appointments, find resources on campus. And for the resources on campus, it's going to show the year services thing. And from there, it's going to show the various different resources that you can actually find on campus. And then once you head down to the bottom of the screen, it might end, and then you can just click more services at the very left corner. When it comes to navigating the site, you can bring on the navigation tab, and it's going to show you various different options that you can have. Dashboard is extremely important. The My Success Network is relatively one of the more important parts of the actual site, because it's going to be able to connect you to who is essentially related the most to you. People who are going to be like your professors, your academic advisors, people who are going to be related to your major and your department. That way they can best help you succeed in whatever you're trying to get done. When you access Dashboard, essentially what you're going to be able to do is see your progress in classes. And I'm going to be honest, not all professors use VandalStar. So you might not get updates for all your classes, but for most classes, you should be able to see how you're doing. And then raising your hand essentially is just trying to get you help. So you'll raise your hand whenever you really need to get that aid that you need from a professor or maybe from another source, and it's going to try and get you that source.
It's like what people want. Spot. Hey, it's me again. Gotta let people back into our lovely room. Whoa. Whoa. There we go. Cool. I'm gonna move this over here too. All right. Computer, come on. That's what happened. Minor technical difficulties. Un momento. There we go. All fixed. Just had to slam it. Percussive maintenance. All right. All you.
Hi guys, I'm Tyler. I'm the APM for Gooding 1, 2, and 3, and I'm here to talk to you about Vandal Web. This will probably be a longer section compared to the rest of this. So starting out, logging into Vandal Web, you're going to use your student email, like the example here, where we have, it's just your net ID and vandals.uidaho.edu. It's like signing into anything else on campus. Occasionally, Vandal Web will not let you sign in when you put in your email and password. You just need to reload the page or retype the URL and it'll be fine. But when we do log into Vandal Web, you get to the home page. And on this home page, there'll be 3 main tabs for students. You have personal information, students, and student financial aid and scholarships. I'll be going more into depth on each of these tabs shortly. But you can either use those links under main menu or use the tabs at the top to navigate through them. When we go into personal information, there's a bunch of stuff here. Most of it I won't be addressing because it's a bunch of personal information that it's just, you'll go there when you need to update stuff. It's not something you'll generally use often. Like if you need to change your email address, your marital status, information, social security number, all that is also found on this page. Anything that you want to update about yourself, you can do on this personal information tab. Some of the cool things on this one though are stuff like, this is new actually, it's requesting a COVID-19 test. Very simply, you click on the first link on the page where it said new, you see at the top. When you do this, you just need to answer a few questions, you'll hit continue, hit a couple more buttons, and then you'll go into a scheduling matrix to schedule your test. It's very straightforward and it's not that many questions you actually need to answer. Another one, this one's at the bottom of the page. Like I said, a bunch of this is just information you'll update if something changes in your life. Like you want to change your email address or marital status, that'll be on the personal information tab. But the stuff you'll deal with mostly are either COVID test or this one's at the bottom of the Vandal card menu. This one is if your card gets lost or stolen, you can go here to deactivate it. Or if you click the top link on your account reports and PIN change, that's if you want to change your PIN for your access into the doors, if you're on the first floor of Gooding, or anytime you need to scan your card, enter a PIN to get into your room if you don't have an actual key. And you can also view on that top link your meal balance or how many dining dollars you have left. Going to the next tab, this is where you'll spend most of your time on Vandal Web. It's what I did at least. This is the Students tab. And it has a bunch of information. Like at the bottom there, you'll see VandalStar, which Kaya just went over. That's just a different way to access. You can also use vandalstar.uidaho.edu or go on to UIdaho webpage and find searching VandalStar, finding out how to access it through there. Under this, at the top, you'll see registration. That's what I'm going to talk about real quick. This is where you go for at the turn of the semesters when you need to register for classes. Freshmen, you did this over the summer. If you went to UIdaho Bound, they walked you through it. But this is where you go to do schedule planner. If you need to change any of your classes, you can see add drop there. You can also view your weekly schedule, and then under weekly schedule, you'll see your holds. That's if you have an academic hold by your advisor or anyone receiving the GI Bill, you have a hold there, not letting you change your account, your classes, until you address that with the person who caused it. You can also go to the bottom there for Textbook Express, which is where you will get books or supplies for any of your classes that require them. You will also see on that page if a course put inclusive access. It'll tell you that that book was charged to your account, but you won't be able to purchase it again. On the next tab is Degree Audit and Transcript. This one is where I spend a lot of time. If you click the top link, that will be your degree audit, where you can view what classes you need for your major, minor, and gen ed through the university. It'll tell you what you have completed and what you haven't completed. And I'll be going more in depth on that on the next slide. But you can also see on this link that you can view your holds again, you can view your unofficial transcript, and you can also view all your grades that professors put out, your early warning, midterm, and final grades. Under degree audit though, it looks something like this. This isn't my degree audit because I don't use Internet Explorer. I don't know why someone would, but this is generally what it looks like. Still needed is that like brownish beige color. Anything that you're doing or you have completed will be a different color, either blue or green or yellow. When you view that, you can scroll through the entire page and actually see what you still need to do through the university. You can also see at the top there's a section for what if and plans. Planning is where you can set up what you want to take each semester, and then you can do a mock audit of it to see if that actually works on your degree audit, if that's every class you need, or if you need to add more to your plan. What if is when you want to see like, oh, if I add this minor, how does that affect my degree audit? What classes do I still need to take? And when you do a what if, you can add classes to your plan or from your plan. You just need to type in the course number like Math 175, and it'll add it and it'll include that when it re-audits it for you with an additional major or minor that you added. Changing my major is also under the student section. When this one, it's very straightforward. This is actually mine, where you can see that I have the mathematics major and those 3 minors. When you go on this one, you can either add, drop, or change. So let's say I don't want a statistics minor anymore. I can just hit drop and it'll drop that off. But if I wanted to change it to something else, I can just hit change, select what I want, and switch it to what I feel like. And then adding is the same way. It's like if I want to add another minor on it, I can just hit add, select what I want, and then in a few days, my degree audit will update with that information correct. Student accounts is also on this page. This is the bane of my existence. This is where you go to actually pay for school. Under this one, if you go to billing statement about halfway down, that's where you can view what you owe the university. And if you keep following those links, it'll let you pay through your savings account. You can also connect your savings account to Vandal Web through your direct deposit information. That'll let you get automatic refunds from the university versus having them mail you a check or having to go down to the registrar's office. And then under that one, you're going to see tax notification. That's if you want to, if you need just any tax information from the school for when it turns to tax season. If you need to file that, you can get your 1098 form. But yeah, this page is very straightforward. You're mainly going to be using your billing statement right there. This is the final tab of Vandal Web, and it's a very short one as well. This is just where you go if you have any scholarships or you want to accept loans that you want that money deducted from your billing statement. So when you go here and you accept a loan for, not loan, let's say you got the U Idaho Go Platinum Scholarship, you'll just go there to the second link, review, accept, and decline awards. You'll accept it, and then it'll show up on your account in a little bit, and you'll see that money actually deducted. You also go here if you want to accept Parent Plus loans, subsidized or unsubsidized loans. It'll go through here, and then there's multiple other links or information you can get to help you with that process. There's also eligibility to check your eligibility for U Idaho scholarships and different stuff through the financial aid office. Yeah, that pretty much sums up all of Vandal Web in a nutshell. And if you do need more information, you can either go through the pages on the homepage of the university, or your academic advisors also know a lot about this program. But yeah, that's pretty much all I will say about it. And next will be Adam talking.
All right. So I'm Adam Irons. I'm the academic peer mentor for floors 7 through 9 in the tower. And I'll be telling you about Sapling Learning or Sapling Plus today. So Sapling Plus is an online tool utilized by mainly STEM courses here. Few will pop up with Sapling Plus required. And that's mainly because that's where professors can go on, post assignments, practice problems, your grades on there. Including the online text associated with that class. And whenever you get Sapling Plus, it'll either come with a book or you can just buy the access in itself. And it'll have a course code on it. You're gonna wanna hold on to that for later on for signing up for a class through this. But the first step mainly is to go to the website posted here at the bottom, as it'll take you to a login page, which looks like this here. If you don't already have an account, you'll go down to create account, fill out the information there and progress through. But if you do, just fill out your email address here, sign in your password, and it'll take you to a page like this. On this page here, you can clearly see there are two tabs, My Courses and Enroll in New Courses. Under My Courses, you'll see your current courses that you've taken through Sapling Plus, in addition to previous ones that you have, to go back for further understanding of the material if you didn't understand it before or just for past references. Under Enroll in a New Course, this is where you'll enter in that course code that you got on the little piece of paper that they sent you or that you bought. And that's where you'll sign up for your course. It'll enroll you in there and figure out which school you're associated with once you fill in that code. But once you have it, it'll show up under My Courses. Now, once it's under My Courses, you can click on the name or rather title of the class. So in this example here, it's Chem 277. You click on that and it'll take you to a page with your assignments on it. Now, these assignments will have a few key informations on there, such as the title of the assignment, when they are due, by what day and what time specifically, the amount of points available for the assignment, the amount of points you got on the assignment once you've finished taking it, and in addition to that, some resources that will help you with the assignment. Sometimes it's the online text, like in this example here, or it could be videos of someone working out a problem associated with what's being taught in this section, or just a video that explains what's going on in this section here. And that's basically all there is to Sapling Plus. Up next is Faith.
Hi everyone, I am Faith Fishburne. I'm the academic peer mentor for Wiley floors 4 through 6. And I'm gonna be talking about kind of the two major textbook online programs that are used, Cengage and Pearson. And a quick note about both of these, sometimes they appear as inclusive access, meaning you paid for them when you paid your student fees. And some of them you have to buy from the bookstore. It just depends on the class and the professor's preferences. So the first one, bit of about Cengage. It's one of the two primary, might be inclusive access, and both of these are very user-friendly. So to get into Cengage, you go to Cengage website. Sometimes you can find it through a BBLearn link. Otherwise, you can just Google it and you can come up to it pretty easily. You go to account, it's up in the top right. And then you log in and enroll using your school email address. If you haven't created an account, you need to do that. And just make sure to use your school email because it should be tied to that. Then you get onto this home page. Mine has Cengage Unlimited on it. I'll talk a little bit about what that is later. But the first thing you're going to want to do is to go to register another course or product. It's in the top right. So getting into your classes, you're going to get this code a few different ways. Sometimes you might get it in BBLearn from your professor, especially if it's an inclusive access material. And that's going to be on your link through BBLearn. As you can see, this has an example where it has a little arrow pointing to the Cengage Unlimited student dashboard. which is where you would go. And you can see where it says the add a course or register a product. You get the access code or course key, which can be provided by your professor. And then if you do have Cengage Unlimited, you don't need to pay for the course. Otherwise, this is where you enter in your book code. So Cengage Unlimited is essentially, you pay a rather large subscription fee for the for a year or 2 years, and then you're able to access all your courses. It's not I wouldn't necessarily say I recommend it. Sometimes with inclusive access materials, you can get a subscription to it without having to pay any extra money, in which case I do recommend it. However, if you have to pay for it, it's not worth it given all the prices, and since a lot of times you're using Cengage through inclusive access. But you can't see this because it's a kind of a fuzzy picture, but it clicks register access and then you're going to enter in your code from the bookstore if it's not inclusive access. So your classes, this will be one of the tabs similar to how Sapling Plus had tabs. This too is going to have tabs that primarily are going to say like your course and your reader. And you can access this through BBLearn or through the Cengage website. This example is calculus. I do know the calculus classes use Cengage. Okay, so the ebook, it's also called Mind Tab. This is kind of just your typical online textbook. You can either open or de-open the glossary. Sometimes there's quizzes that are going to count to your grades. And there's your typical tools like note-taking, highlighters, flashcards that you can all find relatively easily. It's a pretty user-friendly textbook. And so assignments, I've seen assignments through Cengage 2 primary ways. You can, once again, you access this either through the Web Assigned Course tab or through your BBLearn link. So this version, you can either take or practice assignments. I've had exams given through this method as well. And this is going to pop up a new tab. So it's not going to be in your tab. It's going to be a different popped out tab. So you can filter by all assignments, assignments you can take now, and assignments you can practice now. And it'll say if things are available. Sometimes they allow multiple submissions. Sometimes they're timed. Yeah, and it's very nice to work with. The second of the 2 ways, I know this is how the calculus has assigned courses. Once again, access through BBLearn or the Cengage website. This will be in the same browser, and this will be in the My Assignments tab under the Web Assigned Course. So going back to here, these are going to give you kind of typical problems, and you're going to answer them either multiple choice, fill in the blank, math. A couple really helpful tools on this is a lot of times they'll have a practice a similar problem tab that's really nice if you think you're solving the problem right, but you don't know if you're getting the correct answer. Because if you can solve another one that's kind of similar and you can get that one right, then you know when you submit your answer for grading, you're going to be getting the correct answer. Another helpful resource is this. Oftentimes it allows for multiple submissions on homework, which is a very awesome feature. So that brings us to the second of the 2, Pearson. It has the same kind of tags as Cengage. They work very, very similarly to each one of them, except Pearson does not have anything like unlimited the same way Cengage does. So when you go to the Pearson website, you're going to go ahead and click sign in, where you either sign in or you make your account. If you need to register, you click on the student button as opposed to the sign in. And once again, make sure to use your school email. So next you're going to come to My Courses. You can go active or inactive. And assuming you don't have any courses, you're going to click enroll in a course. It's located in the top right. Okay, they have a very nice little thing that shows you exactly what you need. And that's 3 things. The course ID or the program ID from your instructor, your email address, and then an access code, credit card, or PayPal. Now, if this is an inclusive access program that you're getting through your class, your professor should have instructions to how to get it. Generally, it's just a link you click on. then you sign in and it's going to go ahead and say, yeah, this is added because you already paid for it through inclusive access. Assuming it's not inclusive access, your professor will provide you a course ID that you enter, and then you're going to enter your book access code, or you can go ahead and buy it through Pearson. So then you get to your course dashboard. So it says, welcome back. It'll say if there's upcoming assignments. They'll tell you if there's past due assignments. Sometimes you can find your syllabus here as well. Then there's also the e-text. So going on to assignments first, most of them for homework will give hints, which are really helpful. Penalties can be deducted for using multiple tries on them and hints. There's several different types of questions, and generally your first assignment, some professors have it graded, some don't, but it'll be an introduction to the different questions that Pearson offers: multiple choice, sorting, ranking, fill in the blank. Generally what I've seen is multiple choice and sorting are the most common. So then that brings us to the e-text. And I don't have a picture of the screen, but the e-text at the bottom, before you click into the textbook, will give you the option to buy just a 3-ring punched loose leaf version of the textbook for a discounted price. So only about like $40 to $50 as opposed to like $100. So if it's a class that you really want a physical textbook, like organic chemistry, you can go ahead and easily get that without too large of a cost comparatively. So your e-text, this functions a lot like the Cengage one, and it's pretty intuitive. You can navigate using the glossary. There's a bunch of different tools. Probably my favorite of which is the search tool. You can go ahead and search. So if you know you're looking for one specific concept to review, you can just search that concept as opposed to just scrolling through pages, trying to figure out where it is. The study tab down at the bottom of that leftmost bar is also a great tab. It has flashcards with the vocabulary, which is always helpful if vocab is something that's going to be tested on or that you need to learn. And the highlighting, also a great tool. Highlighting's really helpful for making information stand out. So that kind of summarizes Pearson and Cengage. Next up is the Writing Center, and that will be done by Nick.
Hello everyone, my name is Nick. I am the APM for Ballard, just Ballard 1 through 3, and I'll be teaching you today how to set up an appointment with the Writing Center. Okay, first up, when you want to set up an online appointment with the Writing Center, you have to go to their website. You can go there by either following the following hyperlink or typing in University of Idaho Writing Center. I'll bring you to the same place. Once you click on the web page, you'll be asked to sign in. If you don't have an account, you have to click register for account before the first visit. It'll ask you a couple questions regarding, are you a student here at University of Idaho? What's your email, password, simple stuff. Once you make an account, you sign in and you'll be good to go. After you sign in, you'll be brought to this following page where you'll be able to select the month and the week where you want tutoring. Each tutoring block is broken up into 30-minute segments. And you'll be able to look at the various tutors available. Now, if you notice, each tutor will either say online or e-tutoring, which comes important later. Once you decide on what appointment works best for you, click on the slot and it'll ask you to confirm your appointment. After you select yes, the slot will turn gold, confirming that your appointment has been saved. Okay. The Writing Center deals in 2 primary types of tutoring, e-tutoring and online tutoring. E-tutoring is the writer does not have to be present. This is more proofreading and grammatic and structure. This has a 2,000 word limit. Each appointment must be at least at a maximum of 60 minutes, and only tutors with the e-tutoring tag under their name must be used. This one's the best for proofreading, making sure the structure of your essay is good, and just general value of life type things. Online tutoring is what you would expect from online tutoring. It would be a Zoom appointment with face-to-face with your tutor. This will go over scheduling, brainstorming of topics, how you should structure your design. This type of tutoring works the best before you write a document. More brainstorming and getting the course structure set up. Okay, with that covered, I'm going to pass it over to Career Services.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to be talking about career services today. So, how you set up an appointment through career services, you go to VandalStar, and it's a pretty straightforward process. They have a pretty cool web page you can set up there. You can also just Google U Idaho Career Services, and it normally takes you like right there. So you can get in touch with career advisors over at Career Services. They're really great at like getting you guys set up with internship type things and like doing mock interviews. That's been like one of the most used appointment types they've had so far. Then they can find events with networking. Like I know we're gonna have career fairs coming up in the fall, so keep an eye out for those. Then you can develop your skills to like present yourself better to employers. So you set up mock interviews, like I said, and then prepare resumes and cover letters and all that cool stuff. And then career advisors, always. We're gonna have events in the SSP with our career advisors this year, but what can you do with your degree? That's like a major thing that they answer all the time, and they're great at giving you the answers to that question. So always ask them that one if you have issues with that. Dashboard, you can get notifications and warnings and stuff, like they give you kudos, like what you're doing well, what you're not doing so well. And it also is a good way to keep track of your appointments. You can set up your dashboard any way you want practically in VandalStar. So it's pretty cool to set it up and get it squared away that way. Now, appointments for COVID. That is my main man, Grayson.
Hello. I am Grayson Atkinson. I am the academic peer mentor for the Wiley Wing floors 1 through 3. And I'm going to be talking about making appointments during our current pandemic and how that works with various offices who have either gone completely online or remote, and those that are still offering some amount of in-person appointments. So first, I'll be talking about offices like the LGBTQA office, who are setting up appointments via email and phone. They are most of the time doing these appointments through Zoom. And so this is, you're going to be looking for, sending an email to the LGBT office at uidaho.edu. That'll get you in touch with Julia Keller, and the LGBTQA office is almost entirely remote currently. They are doing remote appointments, and their websites, which are both of the links here work for linking you to the same website, will give you additional information about the office, its future events coming up, as well as what resources students have on campus. The Counseling and Testing Center is no longer offering in-person visits currently, but you can still contact them at their number 208-885-6716 to schedule a remote appointment and receive over-the-phone counseling. This is a resource that you can pretty much only contact via the phone, and they're still doing their primary objective of counseling. It's just only being done remotely now. And then there's offices like Financial Aid, which is offering in-person assistance, but they're only doing so with social distancing and masks, and they're strongly encouraging students of the University of Idaho to be going through them remotely, which you can do by emailing finaid@uidaho.edu or calling them during their office hours. Now, when you're emailing, you should be including your Vandal number as well. This just helps them to find out who you are, what kind of aid you're already receiving, and figure out what you likely need.
So financial aid specifically is requesting your Vandal number just because that helps them find out A, who you are, and B, what you already would need coming into your appointment. Next are some general tips on making appointments during COVID-19. The people who you are scheduling appointments with will understand your confusion. These times are strange, not just for you, but for really everyone. And they'll let you know what the next step to take is, either for attending your appointment or for scheduling an appointment with someone who can do the job better if they aren't the best resource for you. Additionally, your initial correspondence with them in order to make an appointment does not need to be extensive. It's actually helpful for someone to receive an email that's maybe a paragraph long that's only saying that they need to make an appointment, it needs to be at these times, and that they need help with this subject. That doesn't have to be too extensive, and it can be done very quickly. So don't worry about making your emails super short, even as little as a sentence long, in order to actually make an appointment, because succinctness is very useful in this COVID-19 world where reading and processing people takes time, and writing unnecessary words can lead to just a longer time to be processed in general. And if possible, when you're making your initial correspondence, give a time that works for you. Don't just try to let the people you are making an appointment with give you times that work for them. If you can start by saying, this time works for me, they're far more able to get you into a time slot that you can actually use faster than them saying all of their available times. Next, I'm going to let MK present on tutoring and college success.
Hi, I'm MK. I'm the academic peer mentor for the Gooding, Ming, and Wallace floors 4, 5, and 6, and I'm going to talk about tutoring and college success. So the general idea, tutoring and college success supports students in their educational endeavors by providing academic success strategies at no additional cost to U of I students. This is done through academic coaches, SI Pass, and drop-in tutoring in the library. The academic coaching is an interactive process that focuses on building time management, test taking, and studying skills. There are 2 academic coaches right now. Their names are Rachel and Kelly. They're very lovely. All University of Idaho students can talk directly with the academic coaches either through phone, Zoom, conferencing, or other preferred mode of communication. I also forgot to list email. That's fun. Appointments can be made through VandalStar or by emailing them at acadcoaching@uidaho.edu, but they definitely prefer VandalStar. The academic coaches offer a lot of different things. They have individual consultations, class for college success strategies, which is an 8-week course. They have a early 8-week and a late 8-week. So if you end up deciding later in the semester that you could have used that college success strategies class, there will still be one available, which is great news. They have workshop presentations, which at this time are webinars, and they have a lot of online resources. Like they have little quizzes that will tell you what your learning style is. And they even have quizzes that help you find out like what career path you might want to be going into if you're maybe questioning your major. They also have drop-in hours in the SSP this year. It's Wednesday at 2:30 to 3:30. And that's a little interesting because it's like we have a Zoom set up with them in the SSP, but it's a good resource because they do tend to get very booked up. So having that drop-in time is very important. Then there's SI Pass, which is peer-assisted study sessions. They provide regularly scheduled peer-led study sessions for difficult courses. Typically, if your class offers an SI Pass, they will tell you pretty early on in that class. So at this point, you should know. There will also be a schedule online, which they unfortunately have not posted yet. And then the person leading the study session will be attending the same class you go to, so they will know exactly what your professor has and has not told you, which is super useful because sometimes they will think that you know something that you actually don't. And these are all offered for classes that have had a history of low pass rates. Then there's drop-in tutoring in the library. They're located on the second floor of the library. Tutoring and College Success offers drop-in tutoring at no additional cost to undergraduate students. There's no appointment required. That's why it's called drop-in tutoring. But you can make an appointment. They're kind of changing that appointment process around right now, so I don't have like a formalized statement of what they're doing because they have yet to formalize it. They're open weekdays 1 to 8 p.m. They've done away with their Sunday hours at this point. They haven't posted their schedule yet, which is also great. And then this is being offered online and in person. So if you're not comfortable going there, you can go online and chat with them on Zoom. Then there's the Student Success Program. So that's all the lovely people that just talked to you. So your APMs are part of the Student Success Program. The RD Nick that's talked is part of the Student Success Program. There's also a room for it. It's located in the Wallace basement. There's a capacity of 8 students and 1 tutor. It's open Sunday through Thursday, 2 to 10 p.m. Schedules are posted in various places on campus. It should be online at one point. There's also an online Zoom link available at all times that the SSP is open. So if you do not want to go in person, that's also open. Or if like you don't attend U of I in person right now, the Zoom link is still there for you. Then there's the APMs, which I already touched on. There are 8 APMs. They work in the SSP. All APMs have 5 in-person hours in the SSP, and they have 3 personal Zoom hours that you can use to reach out to them. Almost all freshmen have an APM. There are a few exceptions, but even if you specifically do not have an APM, they are still there to reach out to you. There are 8 APMs representing 8 different majors, and they have skill sets in 83 different classes. So they're a very good resource, and every class that an APM is tutoring in is one that they have taken and gotten a B or better in. So they've proven competency in the course, and I greatly recommend checking out the SSP. It also functions just as like a neutral study space, if that's what you want, like you just want to get out of your room, because I know a lot of people are going stir crazy at the moment. So there's that. Now it's questions.
Open up the chat. Let me say it from like camera, so people can actually hear me. So I'm gonna open up the chat, see if we have any questions. I think I saw it pop up a few times. Let's see here. Peyton says yes, MK. All right. So do we have any questions for our lovely APMs as of this point? Or if there are any questions in the room, shout them up and I will say them in front of the camera. Cool. Big support for APMs, says Jillian. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. Well, that's all we got. So I'm going to go ahead and end this. If y'all can go ahead and throw your V numbers into the chat real quick, we can get, let me stop recording so we don't get that on the recording.